All right, guys, here it is. Can you even believe how beautiful these colors are coming together? I can't stand it. I don't want to do anything but continue on this project. Look how pretty that yarn is. Oh my gosh, I love this. Okay, I'm going to show you guys this stitch. Hi guys, it's Amy, and you have found Amy Loves Crochet. I want to thank you so much for stopping in with me today. I do appreciate your time. Whether you're a subscriber and you like my goofiness and you like the things that I had to share, or if this is just the first time that you've seen me, I do appreciate you and your time. So we picked up some of this Arabella yarn from Hobby Lobby's clearance sale, and I had some on my shelf from before that was a metallic, and it's so shiny, and that's the only reason why I got it, was just because it was pretty. I didn't know if I was really going to make something out of it, but when I went back for the sale and saw that they had these Arabellas that were not metallic, I just kind of lost it because they're so pretty. And this one's, a lot of the skeins were kind of, or balls or whatever these are called, were kind of sad and droopy and floppy, and I don't know what makes it happen like that. I mean, just people being rough with it in the store and stuff. But so this is a gorgeous yarn that I wanted to share with you. I didn't know if you've known about it, because I didn't know how beautiful it would work up. The color combination on this is just, I cannot get over it. That rust color, and then the like kind of a brown, like cinnamony, and then the blues, and then it goes light. Oh my gosh, it's just gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. So my Arabella yarn, it calls for a 6.5K hook, which is what I was using, even though the Scarfy pattern calls for a J10 millimeter, I mean a size 10, a 6mm hook. But it's also, I think that one's also a bulky yarn. Yeah, that one's also a bulky yarn, I think. I don't know, I don't have any Scarfy. But anyway, it can be used with bulky, non-bulky. It can be used with a J hook or a K hook or whatever you want. The pattern itself was a 36 stitch count, but I'm going to show you a little swatch of a 24 stitch count, and so you can see what it looks like in solid color as well as the variegated. You can make it wide, you can make it thin, you can do anything with it, and it is so soft. I cannot get over how soft it is, how pretty the color combinations are, how great this pattern is. See, it's like got this like ridging, like each of the little blocks looks like it's kind of set up, so it's kind of a ridge. So yes, it's a smooth pattern, but it gives you a visual, and it gives you, you can kind of see, I'm trying to give you a 3D effect. It's not really working. You can kind of see how it kind of dips down in part of it, and then the block is a little bit taller. It just feels like that. It's such great texture. So anyway, let's go ahead and get on to the tutorial. Alrighty guys, I wanted to use a different yarn for the tutorial to show you this stitch, because number one, the Arabella can be a little bit difficult to see when you're starting with your chain because of those cotton strands that run around it. It makes it a little bit confusing where your stitches were. Well, at least it did for me. So I had to mark my chain when I made it, so that I had to pull it out like 3 or 4 times before I got the stitch count marked prior to running my first row back across the chain. So for this, I wanted to, number one, just show it in yet a different yarn. This is a Bernat Pop, just remnants of a Bernat Pop. And although the pattern was originally done with Lion Brand, or from Lion Brand, by Lion Brand for Scarfy yarn, you really can use this stitch with anything. So let's go ahead and get started with a slip knot, and then get 24 chains put on your hook, and I'll meet you back. All right, so you've got 24 chains on your hook, and what you're going to do is 3 double crochets into the 4th chain from the hook. So here's 1, 2, 3, 4. So into that hook, I'm going to do 3 double crochet. I mean, into that chain, I'm going to do 3 double crochets. 1, 2, and 3. All right, so you've got the block, and then you've got this chain 3 space over here. And when we come back around on the next round, we're going to be working into these chain spaces. Okay, so go ahead and skip the next 3 stitches, 1, 2, 3, and you're going to do this is what your normal blocks repeats are supposed to be. You're going to do a single crochet, 3 chains, 1, 2, 3, and then you're going to do 3 doubles back into that same spot. So that's your brick. A single crochet, 3 chains, and then 3 double crochet. 1, 2, and 3. Oops, come on. All right. Okay, and then we're going to skip 3, 1, 2, 3, and we're going to do our repeat, which is a single crochet, 3 chains, and 3 doubles. Whoop. Come on. Okay, 1, 2, oops, and 3. Okay, we got a couple more to do, so go ahead and run those on your own. Skip 3, and in the 4th one, you're going to do a single crochet, 3 chains, and then 3 doubles. And then you're going to skip 3, and in the next one, you're going to do your single crochet, 3 chains, and 3 doubles. And when you get to your very end, I'll meet you back here. So here we are with 4 chains left. The last one is going to get a single crochet, and you're going to skip the 3 before that. So do a single crochet in that final stitch. And then that ends your blocks. Here, the first block is got the 3 doubles and 3 chains, and the single for it is over on this side. So each block is made up of a single, and then 3 chains, and then 3 doubles. So this one is on the end. We're sharing that block half here, half here. So your repeat, here's where the repeat starts. This is what you're going to do for the whole rest of the scarf or the cowl or whatever you're making. This could even be a blanket. So you're going to chain 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, turn your work. And then in the 4th stitch, you're going to do 3 doubles. And so you're going to count this first stitch where your chains are coming up out of 1, 2, 3, 4. So it should be in the last double that you're going to do 3 doubles in. 1, 2, and 3. Okay, and then here's where we're going to make a block. So in that chain space, you're going to do the entire block. A single crochet, 3 chains, and then 3 doubles into that same block. Okay, so you're making the complete blocks in all of the spaces except for the first and the last, because we're sharing that one. So on this end, you're going to get your chain 3 and your doubles, and then we're going to do the single on the other end when we're finishing off there. So from this point, you just jump right into the chain space again and do your single, 3 chains, and then 3 doubles. Double crochet, 1, 2, and 3. Jump right over to the next chain space, do a single, 3 chains, and 3 doubles. Okay, and go ahead and work that all the way across. A single, 3 chains, and then 3 doubles. And so when we get to the end block, the very last block on the end, we're just going to do a single crochet into that chain space, and that sort of anchors him down. Okay, so there again, we've got the chains and the doubles on one side, and then the single crochet over here on the other side. So let's do that again. So your repeat is going to be a chain 4, turn your work, and you're going to go into the 4th. So count this one that you're coming out of, 1, 2, 3, 4, or just consider it the last double before your chain space. Okay, and then you're going to do 3 doubles in there to finish off that half block. And then you're going to start your repeat again. It's that easy. So right here, right next to it, we're going to do a single, 3 chains, and then some doubles. We've got 3 double crochets. 1, 2, and 3. Okay, so that's what you're going to be looking like. You're going to have this guy up on top of your last one down here, and then this chain is going to run up the sides, and when you come back you're going to single crochet into that. So here's the one, whoops, here's the one on the other side. When we get to the end of our, we'll put a block here, and a block here, and a block here, and then just a single crochet. All right, so let's work a couple rows and I'll come back. Alrighty guys, so this is what your work should be looking like. And like I said, it kind of looks like a corner to corner because of the blocks that we do each different direction, but it's beautiful in a variegated. It's beautiful, you know, like this is the Arabella yarn that I worked up. This is just a Bernat pop, so it really could, my sunshine, it really could be worked in any type of yarn. You just want to match your hook to the yarn. The scarfy pattern called for a J hook, but oops, the Arabella yarn that I was working up called for a K. There's my K. So I just went ahead and used that on the Bernat pop as well. I don't have a label right here to see what its suggested hook was. But anyway, I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope that you make one of your own because it's such a fast pattern and it's so pretty, and there's so many different, you know, variations. You can make it wider, you can make it more narrow. Here's the original. And again, this was done with a J hook where the, a K hook, and the pattern was actually calling for a J hook. So it's a little bit, my Arabella one is a little bit wider than it should be. And then there's the one that I just did in the 24. And I think Bernat pop is an H. Oh, here's a label right here. My Bernat pop is, yeah, it's a 5mm hook. Recommended. But I had a K hook in my hand, so that's what I used. So it's quite a bit different. See how spacey and airy it is? So if you want a cowl or a scarf or a blanket that's going to have lots and lots of spacing like that, you can always go up a hook size like I evidently did here. But like I said, the Arabella was a K, and so that's why I used that one. Alrighty guys, I just worked until I was done with my third ball almost. I've got a little bit left here, but I wasn't sure how much the border here or the connecting was going to take. So you have to end, in my opinion, what I did, let's say what I did, is end on the side where my tail is on this side, the same as my working yarn, because the blocks are all sideways, and the way that, in my opinion, they work up best, they match up best, I should say, so that it squares off, is if you end on the side where the tail and your working yarn are on the same, because then your let me go in a little bit here, the chain space is here, and when you've worked, when we started the chain, we put 3 doubles, you know, into one stitch, and so that meeting up, it's like little steps that sit together. So that's why I put this together with the tail end on the same side as my working yarn. Okay, so when you're finished with your single crochet in that last stitch, go ahead and chain 1 and turn. And sometimes when we do this, we don't need to chain 1, but in this case I found that it was getting kind of twisty, and I liked the way it looked better if I did do a chain 1. All right, so then what I did is I just joined with slip stitches, And you can do any way you want. You can whip stitch if you want. You can, you know, like I said, just do a slip stitch if you want. But I'm going to go ahead. I did the chain once. I'm going to go back into that one, and I'm just going to pick up that first stitch here. And I'm going to slip stitch. And this does not have to be perfect because there's lots of spaces in it already. So if you miss one or get a double, then it doesn't really matter. So just go into that next stitch and pick one up over on this side. If you want to go into, there's a double on that side. If you want to go into the double, you can. If you want to go around the double, you can. It doesn't really matter. This is anything you want it to be. So I just went through and kind of to the best of my abilities. Whoops. And I got to be honest, maybe one shell and the next shell aren't going to be exactly the same because you're just trying to get them connected. So go ahead and go into the chain spaces here and get it slip stitched to the other side. All right. Go in just a little bit. Go in, grab part of it from the other side, and slip. Oops. Stitch. Go into the stitch, go in on the other side, and slip. And that's all there is, folks. We're just putting in a simple slip stitch. This part doesn't have to be perfect. Like I said, it's not going to line up exactly right, but you're pretty much block for block. So as long as you've got the blocks sort of lined up right, then your seam, you know, you'll be just fine. So go ahead to finish that to the end, and I'll be back with you. All right, here we are. We're at the edge of the scarf or the cowl, and we've just got a couple left, and get these slip stitches into, oh, come on. Okay. And remember, this one's, you know, when you're at the edge, you want to give it a little bit more stability. So try to dig it into one a little bit. Whoops. Like before, I was just using the chain stitch here, but I think on the end, I want to grab some of the, oh, come on, there we go. Okay. And then remember the side, you know, we're going to consider the side of the project to have 3 stitches here. So, you know, you don't want to dig way down into here and have it be pulled up. So let's go ahead and find where our third is. 1, 2, and that can be our last slip stitch. Okay. And then I'm going to go ahead and give it a final snip there. And tie in my ends afterwards. Okay, so yeah, there's our simple, just a, you know, a simple slip stitch. I really like that. And on this side, it's pretty well seamless, you know. So let's put it on and see what it looks like. Alrighty, folks, here we go. Look at how nice this is. This is 3 Arabellas, and I just have this little bit left. I probably could have gone maybe another round or 2, but I didn't feel like playing any yarn chicken. So there you go. You can have it up over your head if you need to cover yourself a little bit more. Put your jacket on over that. So yeah, so there you go. I love it. Can you tell Amy loves this? All right, guys, I can't thank you enough. I just wanted to do this so that I would, you know, have some outlet for my my talking. I just want to talk about yarn all the time. I want to touch it. I want to look at it. I want to feel it. I want to talk about it. So that's why I created this channel. But the fact that some of you are, you know, leaving comments and repeat viewers, I do appreciate you so much. I can't explain how much I enjoy doing this. So thank you so much for your time. I do appreciate you so much, and I hope to see you again soon. Bye-bye.